Hello everybody, it's Wednesday. Just headed to work. I'm actually really early. I went by to go pick up some stuff yesterday, some donated computer equipment. The guy wasn't there, so I'm going to try again this morning and see if he's there. If he is, I'm going to go by and pick it up. Otherwise I'll be early to work for the first time in a long time. And it's funny because this morning when I got up, I actually was laying in bed and I tweeted that I didn't really want to get out of bed. And then I started thinking about doing, recording the vlog, and I was like, oh, I gotta get up and get going so I can get the vlog recorded this morning. And that's funny because normally I'd be like, no, I'm staying in bed for a little bit longer and I can just go pick up the stuff some other time. But I really need to go by and see what they've got and get it picked up and get it dropped off at the office so it can be worked on. I was trying to think about what to talk about today, and I guess I'll talk about my hobbies, if that's what you want to call them. I don't want to say that recording these vlogs is just a hobby. I actually really enjoy doing this. And my problem with hobbies is that I do them for a while and then I get bored, or I'm not, like with guitar, I get to a certain point where I really start getting better at playing, and then for some reason, I'll learn all these things, but I'm not learning any songs. I think that's what kills me, is that I don't really have any really good songs I can play all the way through that makes me stay interested in playing it. That, and we don't have the room right now for me to bust them out and play. So whenever we get the house all straightened out, hopefully I'll have at least a little corner for me to sit in and play. So I have a huge guitar collection, and so I really want to get back into playing it, even if that means taking lessons or whatever. And that's what I'll do. And then another one of my hobbies started out when I was a kid. I played with model trains. I just have a thing for trains. I don't know why. And so I've got a bunch of train sets and some cars and stuff, and some engines that I got from a woman. Her husband was a huge train collector, and she was selling her collection off, and I was trying to help her and helping her sort through things, and then I ended up buying a ton of stuff off of her. And it's funny, I have all this stuff and then I'm like, I have no place to put it, so it's locked up in a closet, and I've considered selling it. There's some certain cars and a couple of engines that I probably won't ever part with. They're from the 1976 Freedom Train, and hardly anybody remembers this thing. They had an old style wood-burning locomotive and then an actual diesel locomotive. And they hauled these cars around, and they had like artifacts from the American Revolution. And I'm like, I was little. So when that came through, but that's my first actual memory, is being on that train. I don't remember anything else in my life before that, but I remember that train, and I always have remembered that train. And I remember when I was a kid, we even had the book. They sell like souvenir programs or whatever. So we had that book, and I'd look through it all the time because it was so interesting. And of course we had a house fire years later, and ended up garage fire, and all that ended up burning up. But I always remembered that. And so when this lady was going through all her husband's stuff and selling it, and I found those, that's the only thing that I absolutely just had to have. And so I have a collection. But it's one of those things where I was really into it. She even gave me some custom-made trees, and I was all into it. Was like, yeah, I can't wait. We're gonna set up a board, and I'll set up a little town, and I've got all these trees, and I got all these ideas, and I started going to the hobby shops. And then when I hit that roadblock of not having any room to build that board, it was all gone for me. I mean, I still have all the trains and all the other stuff. I just don't have that desire anymore. And I don't know where exactly that comes from. I know when I was a kid, my dad would go take guitar lessons, and then he'd get frustrated. He has the same problem I do. He wasn't learning any songs that he liked or that he could play all the way through, and so guitar was kind of pointless. And I think that's the same problem I have. I need to learn a couple of songs all the way through that I enjoy, that I can play, songs that I actually like, and then I can go back and learn more technical stuff on the guitar. But if there's no way for me to enjoy it, because I gotta tell you, just doing the warm-up practices is not that much fun, and it gets old and repetitive. Now, I like the faster finger exercises. I actually enjoy those because those are a challenge. And there was one I had that wasn't really challenging, but it was all up and down the neck, so you had to try to play it. You could play it as fast as you could, and I actually got pretty good with that one. And I just need to go back and start playing again. But I need to find somebody who will teach me the way that I can learn. And that's the easiest way to explain it, which is I need to be taught something that will make me enjoy the guitar more, then go back and teach me all the technical aspects. And I used to play, and I can play the bass fine, and I used to play guitar, and then I switched over to the bass, and then when I switched back to guitar, it's like I don't have any clue what I'm doing, and I don't know where that mental block is. But that's definitely something that's on my list to get accomplished. I mean, I have, God, I don't even know. If you count my little guitars, I have a half size and a 3/4 size, and I have a ukulele now. Count all those, I'm probably up to about 17 total. That's with the acoustics and my other electrics and everything else. And I think I've got 5 amps. So I have a really good collection, and I like all the guitars. There's a couple that I could part with and I wouldn't care. I'm not really attached to them all that much. But other than that, oh, another hobby of mine for a long time was barbecuing. And we actually went and did a contest, and I thought that what I cooked was really, really good. And actually the chicken that I cooked, I cooked a lot of extra, and I was letting people come by and try it. And there was even somebody that was an official with the people that sanctioned the barbecue event. They weren't judging, they were just officiating, walking through and make sure people weren't, you know, I guess cheating. I don't know how they figured that. They didn't check, they didn't do a meat check before the contest started, so people could have been brining things or putting them in sauce or whatever. But anyway, he tried it and he was like, oh my god, this is so good. He goes, you should definitely win chicken. Didn't place in anything, not even top 20. And I got really just completely and totally disappointed in how all that works from that point on. And it didn't change. Well, I guess it did. It did change my attitude quite a bit towards barbecuing, and I still did it after that. I didn't feel like I was as passionate before I started did that contest. But I want to get back into barbecuing again this year, not necessarily for contests, just to cook. It just takes so long. I mean, it's such a long process, but I get really good results. So and I'm still undecided. It's another one of my hobbies that I get to a certain point and it's kind of like hit the brakes. I even have a new gas grill, and I think we've used it 3 times. It's another thing. I love to grill out, but it seems like we never have any time. By the time I get home right now, it's dark, so since I don't get off work till 6, so hopefully when it starts staying daylight till 8:30, when I get home I can just grill out. Because I did grill some steaks, I don't know, this 2 or 3 weeks ago, and they were really good. And so that's, you know, that's one of my things is grilling and barbecuing, and it's something I'm definitely passionate about. I just don't want to carry it any further than doing it to feed my family and friends. I don't want to get into it as a business, and I don't want to get into it as a hobby. I understand why people want to go do the contests. They're a lot of fun, but it's not worth it. The same old people win every time, so really there's no point in entering. The same people win. They use equipment that they shouldn't be using for the contests, and it's not worth it. Ultimately, it's a big waste of money for people that don't appreciate true barbecue. So I definitely won't be doing another one. And I was trying to think what other hobbies I have. I keep getting into golf and out of golf, and that's more of a, I like golf and I really want to go play, and then my body says, no, you really don't want to play right now. And then I end up getting rid of my clubs and waiting a while, and that's where I'm at right now. I'm kind of at this crossroads of, I'm starting to lose some weight, and I'm going to start doing some exercise. I've been riding my bike and I'm getting in better shape, but do I want to wait until I start feeling better and go golfing, or do I just want to give it up? Because at this point, I don't know that I'll ever truly get into it enough for it to be worth the investment. I think about it, and I think that I want to, and I want to get better at it, but then I think, God, you know, I'm going to pay to go stand out in the heat and hit little golf balls and frustrate myself. So I haven't decided whether I'm going to sell my clubs in my bag again or not. If I do, I'm going to keep certain pieces. I know I have a really good putter that I'm probably going to keep just in case I ever get better clubs. So, and maybe that's my problem, is I just don't have a good enough set of clubs, but I'm not good enough to be able to go out and buy a good set of clubs just yet. Yeah, we're getting wind again in Austin, and it's driving me nuts. It's already blowing me across the road. It was supposed to be in about this time, so it's about right on time, about 8:30. So anyway, that's pretty much it on my hobbies. You know, it is what it is. I'm trying to block the sun here. You know, I really don't know where my issues with my hobbies comes from, where I get into them and then I'm out. I know what the issue is with guitar. It's just everything else. So that's definitely something I want to work on this year, is being more consistent when it comes to things that I like and really being into them. And I think recording the vlogs every day helps with that, because I don't really see it as a hobby, but I do see it as a way for me to stay on track and be consistent with something. So anyway, I'm nearly to where I need to be to go pick up this equipment, so I will sign off. It's funny, Monday's vlog, when I went to the orthodontist, even though I didn't get to film anything at his office, I had 12 views on it already. I think it's viewed more than any of my other videos. Just really funny. Second place is probably my first one. Well, I say first, there's actually another video that was never edited that's sitting out there that's technically my first one, but I may show it at a later time. And then the roommate hip hop hula hoop is right up there too with 10 views. So anyway, tell your friends about us. Have them watch. If you like the videos, give me a thumbs up and hit the subscribe button. Hit me up on Twitter and let me know that you watch, and things you may want me to talk about, things you don't like that I talk about, or if you want more stories or less stories, or however you want it, and that's the way we'll do it. So anyway, you guys have a great day.